Okay, so we were discussing the story of David and Bathsheba. So we said that really he didn't do Eshet Ish. She had to get Uriah rebelled against the king, so he was deserving death anyways. Problem was that he took her too fast, too soon. He should have waited. The sages tell us David taking Bathsheba, it was like someone who ate the fruits before it was ripe. And you get, what happens? You get stomach pain when you eat the non-ripe fruits. So you should have waited to eat the fruit during the season. Now, really, he was supposed to be his zivug. It was his zivug, and he saw in Ruach HaKodesh it was supposed to be his zivug. And really, he did it to himself. We said yesterday that he promised Uriah for helping him chop Goliath's head off. He promised him a Jewish woman. And Hashem said, you know which Jewish woman we're going to give? We're going to give your zivug instead. So that's why his zivug was with Uriah Hitim. Now, the Zohar says that there was a discussion between Hashem and the angel and appointed the gatekeeper of Gehenna. The angel said and asked about David. He said he was pogem babrit. He did a sin with the brit, so therefore he has to pay for this. So then Hashem answered, David's a tzaddik. His level of kedusha was not affected at all by this sin. He knew Bathsheba was his zivug and she was divorced. But the gatekeeper of Gehenna said, bah, he should have waited. Every halacha says every divorcee, she has to wait how long till she gets married? She has to wait 3 months. Yeah, because you have to see if she's pregnant or not. He didn't wait 3 months. He transgressed this halacha. So then Hashem said that Uriah never had relations with Bathsheba, and his name was attached to Uriah as a testimony to this. Hashem's name is Yud K. So Yud K was in Uriah's name, and I can testify that he never was with her. And also, David had Bathsheba 4 months after the divorce. So you see that what? That he didn't do that wrong either. So therefore, the gatekeeper went back to his place, as Zohar says. Okay, now, Uriah got the death penalty. Why? He was married Mamalchut. He rebelled against the king. Also, when he spoke directly to David, Uriah referred to Yoav as my master. You're not allowed to give Torah of kavod. You're not allowed to give honorable names to other people when you're talking to the king. My master. What do you mean, my master? You should say your servant, Yoav. Why are you saying my master, Yoav? You're talking to the king. So that also was not respectful. Some say that he deserved death penalty even before, because David Malchut, when he started, right, he saw no choice but to postpone Yoav's killing Avner. Remember, Yoav killed Avner, and because he killed his brother Asael. So David, he postponed Yoav's punishment, and he didn't postpone. He did not postpone the punishment. Yoav's officers, however, one of those officers was Uriah. So really, he was deserving death from way back when. But what do we see from here? Why did this whole thing happen? The sages tell us this whole thing happened to David in order for him to be tested. Why did he need to be tested? Because David asked for an nisayon. He asked for the test. The Gemara says a person should never ask to be tested, right? And you never know, you can never be confident that you'll succeed. Why? Because even David, who he knows, Libi Halal B'Kirbi, he says, I know my heart is empty of the Yetzer Hara. I killed the Yetzer Hara inside myself. I'm Hasid. I'm on the highest level. Still, he was confident that he could pass the test. Hashem said, you brought a nisayon to yourself? Okay, look. And even he fell in a way. So therefore the Gemara says, from here we learn, never should a person be confident to go and bring a test upon himself. You know that David HaMelech wanted to be, he was considered the fourth leg of Kisei HaKavod, but he also wanted to be mentioned, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, Elokei David. Now Hashem said, listen, they were tested, you weren't tested. He says, okay, so test me. And he said, you sure? He said, yes. And that was a test with Bathsheba. And he didn't pass fully. Since he didn't pass fully, he's only in Magen David after Haftarah. But he's not Elokei David. So Hashem told David that he's going to be tested. But he told him it's going to be a matter of erva. He didn't say what exactly is going to be the test, but he told him it's going to be something with the brit. So David, the commentaries say David made sure to have relations that day. So he shouldn't have such a strong Yetzer Hara. He already was calm. And He forgot. What did the Gemara say? Gemara says there's a small limb in a person's body. You feed it, it gets more hungry. You don't feed it, he stays full. So David thought if he's gonna have relations that day, he's not gonna be so hungry. But the opposite, he became more hungry.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And what is the real antidote for the breed? Our sages tell us, Barati Yetzara, Barati lo tavlin. I created the Yetzara, created a spice to calm down the Yetzara. What is that? Torah. So David shouldn't have been busy more. Ishtadud was better what? Ishtadud was better Torah, not the relations earlier in the day. And Bathsheba at that time, she was shampooing her hair under a canopy. Satan came in the form of a bird. David shot an arrow to try to get the bird. In the end, he shot the thing that was holding up the canopy, the curtain. So he ended up, he broke, with his arrow, he broke the canopy, the curtain, and he was able to see Bathsheba. He says, David in Tehillim says, you tested me to test, to refine me, and I didn't pass. If only I would have asked not to be tested. He should have said, it's okay, I don't want to test. But now the sages tell us also that both Bnei Israel and David were in control of the Yetzirah. Bnei Israel on the time of the golden calf. And they shouldn't have been sinning. So why did Hashem allow the Yetzirah to get to them? Because he wanted that future generations should learn that if a whole tzibur does teshuvah or an individual does teshuvah, it's accepted. So it comes out that David, Hashem wanted him to fall. Why? Because people should learn even David fell and he can make teshuvah. Sheva yipot tzaddik v'kam. So therefore, a person shouldn't think that tzaddikim they're perfect. Never did anything wrong, and if you're not perfect, you're a rasha. No, even tzaddikim fall. So can I plan to fall? No, you can't plan to fall. You try your hardest. Even if you fall, don't worry, you can make teshuvah. You have to do real teshuvah. Real teshuvah means if you feel bad for what you did, you have to know you messed up. But teshuvah is available. So Hashem wanted this to be a lesson for all of us that we learn from David. Now, the commentaries ask, David the Melech, he wasn't tested before this? Why did Hashem have to make a new test and say, oh, the Avraham, he was tested, Yitzhak, he was tested, Yaakov was tested, you weren't tested, David? What do you mean? He had Shaul fight, he had Navala fight, he was tested by his brothers. How could you? What do you mean? David's whole life was full of tests and suffering. What do you mean he needed a test? So the commentaries say the difference was when the Avod was tested, it was a test that was not for them alone, for all their descendants. When they succeeded in passing Hashem's test, they gave their children in the DNA also ability to pass the test. All of David's tests were for him alone. That's why we had Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Avinu, our father. So therefore, he needed this test, and this test will be able to give to his children. Now, when he tested tzaddikim, Hashem created us, right? Whenever you have a machine, you know its limit. You know how many pounds it could hold. You know how much it could do. You can't push it over the limit. You know you're going to break it. Hashem, when he tests the tzaddikim, he knows what's strong, what's weak, and he knows not to test them in a way that they're going to break. You only test them when he knows they can handle. So when the word nes, the word nesayon has the word nes. Nes means to raise, like a banner. You raise it up, right? So he says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whenever he tests us, he wants us to show us what our limits are, to show us how great we are. So therefore, whenever you get a test, you should know Hashem believes you can pass it. And when you pass it, you're going to realize, wow, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I had this ability inside of myself. But people, what do? They say, why Hashem put me in tests? I don't want this tests anymore. A guy came to me the other day. He said, Rabbi, oh, this and this in my business happened. Why this happened to me, Hashem? Why? Rabbi, why? Tell Hashem I just want to live relaxed. I just want to be simple. Why I need all these tests, all this stress, all this? I said to him, listen, Yaakov Avinu said the same thing. And what happened? Yosef, the story with Yosef right away happens. Vayishev Yaakov. Yaakov says, I want to sit calm down, calm, relax, enjoy my life, vacation, retirement. Hashem says, boom. Right away, story with Yosef happened. Because whenever Hashem puts us in a test, that means there's a potential inside of us. Hashem wants to bring it out. The day that you have no more potential, there's no more tests, the day you die is the day that you're finished. There's no more to grow if there's no more tests. So a person has to realize, if Hashem giving me a test, That means that Hashem believes that I can grow more. It means that there's something inside of me I don't realize. And if Hashem believes in me, I need to believe in me also. Baruch Naolam.